So 10 o'clock comes early for me. I'm probably at my best at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But according to my mom, as a baby, I used to wake up laughing. She knew I was awake every day. I could wake up laughing. She'd hear me. And I tried to think about that. What was I seeing that made me laugh? And it was the light on the wall. It was the play of the light on the wall coming through the trees outside my window, the shadows of the dirigible over my head, the prism to cast a rainbow on the wall. Just miraculous. And I didn't have a head full of politics or agendas or bills or anything like that. I was a newborn and just surrounded by beauty. And truth in advertising, I don't have much of a sermon for you today. I have suggestion as to where to find a sermon. And that's why I call it this the frontier of light. It's because that light that we see around us, that's bouncing off the walls, that's coming through the trees, it's coming through the clouds, that's omnipresent. And it's infinite. It's an infinite source. It's coming from the sun. 8 minutes ago, it left the sun. And now it's here and we see it. When we look at the sun, we're looking back in time. I found when I was a kid, later on, I grew up a little bit, and I realized I was a little bit too late to be an explorer. Everything on Earth had been discovered and charted, mapped, named. And I would remember sitting there and just looking at this tree. Look how beautiful this tree was, this transition of red to orange to green. And someone would come along and say, that's a deciduous tree. They'd have it all figured out. They just keep on walking. And I didn't care what the name of it was. I just wanted to experience it. And that was about the same time that I wanted to become a painter. And I had this challenge for myself. I wanted to be able to paint anything, right? Anything under the sun. I wanted to be able to paint it. And that seemed like so much to learn, so much to, how am I going to learn human anatomy and what all the plants are built like, and how does a dog's fur lay on its back just right? There's just so much to learn. And I started realizing I don't need to learn all of those things. I just need to learn how light works. Because I'm not painting this thing. I'm not painting this person or this dog or this house or this tree or anything. I'm not painting that thing. I'm painting the way that light bounces off of that thing, how light affects that thing. And I just need to pay attention to the light so I can find one. It's like that Zen koan, or from one thing know 1,000 things. From the light, you can understand everything and you can engage with everything, and nothing will step in between you and that. Nobody's going to come in and say that you painted it wrong, unless you're in some art school where they're trying to teach you a certain way of painting. Nobody's going to step up and say you got it wrong, or that's called this, or you should this or that. It gives you an opportunity to engage with the world on your own terms, that there is a frontier. There is something that hasn't been charted. You can engage right now with the bleeding edge of reality. It's 2023. I've never heard of a more futuristic sounding date than that. We're in the future. And, I'm not going to live long enough to be on a starship, but I can live right here on this cutting edge. I'll tell a little story. I'm not going to waste your time too much today. one story that really impacted me. It was about 20 years ago. We had an ice storm here on the East Coast, and everything, I would probably remember it, everything was coated in a 1/4 inch of ice. Everything. All the roads, the houses, the trees, everything. And there was no wind. So it stuck. It was there. And I was warm in my house and didn't want to go out. Everything's coated in ice. It was, middle of the winter. And I decided to go out for a walk anyway. And I walked down my street, my neighborhood, into the woods at the end of the neighborhood, a place I hardly ever walked. And it was loud. I'm crunching through the ice. I got back into the woods, and there was about 5 miles of woods between me and the full moon. And I looked up at the full moon, and you can imagine the trees are surrounding me, right? All these branches, all these limbs, every single branch, every single limb coated in ice, which meant that there were reflections of that moon, millions and millions of reflections of that moon, all coming into my eyes at the same time, like a massive mandala, like a vision from antiquity. Amazing. And in an instant, my brain did the math, all the angles that were involved, all the light coming from the sun to hit the dust of the moon just so many particles bounce through the atmosphere, through these trees, onto this ice, into my eyes. And knowing, as miraculous as that was, that most of that light just falls on the sand, on the ground. Just this little bit made it into my eyes, and it had this profound impact. This is there all the time if you go out and look for it. These phenomena are every day. But you have to put your eyes where they exist. It would never have happened if I'd stayed on my couch. So what I would ask of you, don't take this as a sermon. Go look for that sermon that the sun provides, that light provides. Get yourself a little pack of paints. Spend $25, the cost of a dinner out, and you'll have enough paint for years. Make notes on the sermon. Don't make paintings. Don't put on a beret, become an artist. That's all nonsense. Make notes on the sermon of light in front of you and engage with the world on those terms, at least sometimes. Get back to that point of being a child where you woke up laughing. Engage with, normalize this so that the next generation sees us doing this and says that this is normal, this is regular, this is good. It's firsthand engagement with the infinite, and I think it's very important. So with that, I thank you very much. I'd love to answer any questions that you have or anything like that, and I can be in touch via email or chat if you're interested in art supplies or further art stuff. I could talk about this stuff for hours. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Brother Bruce, that was a mighty sturdy suggestion where to find the sermon. What a martastic exploration.
Well spoken, my brother. Well spoken.